Hi and welcome to my playhouse, and let's just jump right into it. Today we are gonna go and mount this bandit here. It's a spooky little thing. It looks like something out of Men in Black. Let's see what I've done so far. So just to get a feel of this, I installed this Unifi video on my old machine down here. It's just this tiny little Lenovo PC, and I installed that on there. I went out and I installed the dome camera underneath the hanging of my house, so it's watching over my car. Somebody has to do that. So right over here is well, there's a little preview over there. We can kind of get that. There's even sound, and I can see that my car is doing really well. Somebody ought to watch that. I actually did that not long ago, and then some bird decided to shit all over it. So, but let's go check that from the outside. So let's go outside. It's just stopped raining here. I was actually I was cleaning the tiles here with the pressure washer. So it's rather wet right here. Rather wet. So there is the car. And up there is the camera. Kind of underneath the overhang there. There's a better picture. Yeah, and it sees the driveway really nicely, so that's cool. So the other camera, I want to mount that over there, where that other camera is, and I kind of want to have it pointing this way. Yeah, the little robot stopped. He doesn't like it when it rains. He complains and says, "It's raining, I quit." So I will remove that thing. I put a cable there. You can kind of see that black one. I did that in the previous video where I drilled that, and I've kind of mounted it underneath this hanging of the house. So it's not really that visible, so that's kind of okay, cool. Yeah, I have to remove that old camera, which it's not presently working. I don't know if it works. It's a USB camera. Haven't had it connected for a while. It was actually cool at some point. So now I have this cable here. I purchased this. This is outdoor Cat 6 cable. So this is more or less really good for this. Although the Ubiquiti equipment says that you have to have this shielded. I am not gonna do that because I bought the wrong cable for that, and I don't have shielded plugs either, the connectors. So we're gonna put on normal ones, unfortunately. Okay, so that cable needs to be mounted. We need to mount it for this in here in the camera. There is an Rj45 connector which we need to connect, and there is no connection on there right now. So I have a whole box full of stuff to make those connections, those thingies. So these are for stretching a cable. If you had two patch cables and you want them to go straight through, well, you put in one of these. I bought a whole bunch of these in China at some point. They were next to nothing, so I still have a lot of those. In the good old days, well, maybe not that good, it was possible to take a Rj45 connection and split it up into two. Or if you had a cable in your house and you wanted two cables somewhere, you could split it up. You can kind of see the drawings here. It takes the 8 pins and it splits it up into two connections, and then you have two network connections. Yeah, you kind of need one in both ends for this to work. Oh, that one is not needed there. That goes over there. What you would do in the office, you would put this in the wall, and down in the switch room you would go, and the connection that came from the office, you would split it up again. So you would have two cables going into the switch, and at the office you would have two cables going out, one to one computer and one to another computer. That way you could live with one cable from the office and to the switch room. This is not compatible with higher speeds. I think 100 megabits was the max, and these were blotchy expensive, I remember that. So then we have zip ties, we have a cable tester. It comes together with this thingy. It just measures if there's a connection. Then we have plugs here. Just got new plugs. Yeah, these are exactly the same, so I don't need 2 bags of plugs. So let's put those in here. Yeah, that's right. And then I have different what do you call these? Equipment for making the cables. I believe I have one more there. And then my cousin came and gave me some very special plugs, also Rj45 connectors. The magic thing about these is that you put the cable in, but there is holes, so the cable comes out, and you can see if you've done it right, and then you can crimp it, and then you can cut off the accessories or the extra. So I think we should go and try one of these, and we'll use this green one. That's new. Okay, so right now this cable is way too long, so but for showing you, it's good. I would expect most of you have tried this. So there's some knives down here to remove the insulation, so you can kind of put it there, and you can ever so slightly turn it around. I have had some unlock with this, where it has cut the strings inside, and you're not supposed to do that. To get a high-speed connection, you actually need to put these in the right order. This cable has some plastic in the middle here. This thing that needs to be removed. I don't have any pliers with me, so I have the ones in my mouth. Yeah, doesn't taste great, but it's not that hard. The order of these is orange and white, orange, green and white, blue, blue and white, green, brown and white, and brown. This is in Danish, sorry about that. So white and orange, and then what was green and white. So the green and white one, and then the blue one, and then the blue and white, and then the green, and then the brown and white, and the brown, right? There ish. So so we can kind of straighten those like that, there. But with this connector we can put them through. So they're not very straight. I think they need to be very straight to do a good job here. Yeah, this is not great. So what we will do is we will just cut off the ends, because the ends of this, that's a mess. So we'll do it like that, and that makes it a lot easier, I hope. So there's a trick to this, because one of the sides there is no obstacles. So if you press the cable down towards that size when you're pushing it in, well, they're not gonna shift too much around, and we can put it in there, and we don't have to worry about it not going far enough. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I think I'll save this connector, because there is really no reason to waste this. We can take our piece of paper here and we can check if the connections are right. We have orange and white, orange, and then comes the blue one. That's wrong. So they have shifted connection. It was supposed to be green and white, so I can do this over. There's a bird's nest right up here. They're not very satisfied that I'm messing around so near their house. So this thing is what I need to mount up underneath my ceiling there, and there's some screws for it. They're not too big, they're fine. And then there is this rubber thing here that I need to put the cable through, and that is a lot easier if I do that before I put the plug on. So I have to remember that. And that goes in here, and it makes a really good seal. around right there. I just popped it in to make sure which way it went in, and I had a lot of difficulties getting that out again, so I'm not gonna do that again. So, but I need to put the cable in that way, so that is good. And this one can go up, and I need the screws. I can take those out of the bag. But let's go and see how I am thinking about mounting this. Yeah, put that in my pocket. And another. There. I want the logo to be at the right position, so it's gonna go something like that, and we're gonna screw it in like that.
Okay, I've mounted it up there. I've cut the cable a little bit. It's a little bit long. It has to be long enough. My plan is actually to unmount this at some point and install a Wi-Fi point out here as well. Yeah, right now we're just mounting the camera, but I actually want there to be Wi-Fi in the garden, because down there is my little hammock, and I really enjoy laying in that and replying to comments, so I want some better Wi-Fi out here. It's definitely a first world problem, but I remembered to put the cable through this, and I have also put on the rubbery thing, so I'll put on the connector. I'm kind of in the picture here, but I have the connector here and I have the wire sticking out, and I'm able now to check with the drawing here and make sure that everything is as expected. This is for Cat 6. It's not necessary at all, because this camera will work with 100 megabit or even, I think even 10 megabit. Might as well, if I'm gonna have Wi-Fi out here, might as well get some good internet as well. So I think this is right. Okay, so I double checked off camera to make sure. There, it's on. And I'm gonna go and I'm gonna take this knife and I'm gonna cut the extras off here. There we are. Okay, it's kind of a weird angle because of the sun here. So we're gonna have this. Gonna put the cable through. Gonna put this down into there. Pop that into the camera. Oh, it's upside down. That makes sense. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. I think the cable is too long, so I need to loosen that ever so slightly. Yeah. And in the meanwhile, the mother bird got tired of waiting on me, so it flew in there anyway. Or the daddy bird, I am not sure which one. So that's very discreet, isn't it? Yeah, I think it needs to point over more this way. Yeah, that is rather discreetly. You're not gonna notice that at all when you come in here. So in here in the house, I have this cupboard here where my switch is located, and well, I mounted the other camera without you, but as doing so, I didn't know which one of these black cables was the one with the connection. So I put connectors on first one of them, and that was the wrong one. And so now I'm gonna be putting it in, and then hopefully this is gonna work. Oh, there is Marcus's light. Okay, but let's just have a look at it up here. So this is what it looks like. I still have some some wires here that is not connected to anything. So here's the switch. It's a power over Ethernet Ubiquiti switch, 150 watts. I could have gone with a lot smaller switch. I didn't know. 150 watts, I have no idea what to use all those watts for, because these cameras are like, I think it's 3 watts. They brag about being 4 watts, but I plugged the dome camera in and it was only using about 3 watts. And so now let's try and pop the other one in. I haven't configured the port yet, but it should just auto sense that. Can I do that with one hand? Yeah, that worked. And it got a connection. Let's see down here. Do we get any activity? Okay, not yet. Let's go see the computer. Okay, so here is the computer, and we can see the dome camera over here. That is doing well. It is actually recording all kind of weird stuff. So there is a whole bunch of, and it kicked me, so I'll log in again. There we are. It has done all kind of recordings. This is filmed on the June 21st. So you can kind of see different cars coming by on the road. I tried to filter those out. I don't really want to film cars out on the road. There is a possibility to do that. I think their shadow keeps triggering me. So down here we can configure the zone. So I've left all the blue stuff here is where the motion detectors should activate. And up here there's an area where cars go by on the road. And I don't want that to be in there, so I might just take a little bit more of it off. There, slightly less room. Ever so slightly. So save that, and hopefully I should get less recordings. So, but let's see if we can find our new camera anywhere. Unmanaged camera. Anything? Not yet. So maybe we need to go and check the port on the Ubiquiti switch. So here we have switched over to the Unifi manager, where all my Ubiquiti Unifi stuff is controlled from. Right now I'm not using the USG. Down here we have that 8-port PoE switch, and we have a new device here. We can see that port 7 is now in use, and that was where I plugged in that camera. Currently that is using 2.36 watts from port 7. And we can go and configure that. I'm gonna call it apply. Oh, we can kind of see, you can see the colors up here. Those colors, that tells us that, well, we are running 10 or 100 megabits. The plus there is telling us that we are running PoE plus, so it's taking in 48 volts. If it had a lightning, it would have been 24 volts PoE. I think we're good. It should be open. So let's go back to this. It found it. Not sure what happened there. So here it is. Right now it's not doing anything. We can see the microphone is green, but let's click on it and we get some options over here. We can manage this, but we need to enter the very, very secret username and password. If you don't know that, it's in the manual what to put in there. The default password, username and password is UBNT and UBNT. The username is UBNT and the password is UBNT. So that we can manage. So let's put that in, manage. It's disconnected. What it will do is that it will connect. It might. It's trying, and it should firmware update. Connection timeout. How rude. Well, it got far enough so that it's now over here under managed cameras, but it's disconnected. Okay, after a lot of extra mingling around, I got it. It turned out that the connection coppered up there was bad. I cut that connection off and I made a new connection, and then everything was good. So now I have a picture and everything on it. So yeah, but I see that I need to angle the camera differently.
so that I can see more of my driveway. I can rename this, gives me an IP number, I have the MAC addresses, and it has been up for 3 minutes and 4 seconds connection time. And we can go and see over here at my switch that it's pulling 2.23 watts. The dome camera is pulling 2.76 watts. So that's not a lot. Older access point here, that's pulling a little bit more, 4.94 watts. But all of that combined, the switch is delivering 15 watts. And it's a 150 watt switch. I could definitely have bought a cheaper switch. I surely don't need all of that. Back to the camera here. We have a picture, so we can press that and we get a live stream. Yeah, those birdies are really pissed at me now. This is not that bad. We need to point it down some, but otherwise, okay. I will go and do that. Here we have a live view. I can check my car and I can see if someone comes in. I can see if someone comes in here through here and they will have to go that way up to the door. I can also check on my phone. I have some branches here. Those, I think we need to cut those a little bit, so I think we'll go and do that. I have this mounted. I'll go and rename stuff and look if I need to add some sectors. I think the second camera there, it can record everything. I'll probably get a lot of birds coming in for landing because there is that nest right up there. I have to thank my patrons. They have supported and sponsored these cameras for me. And if you are one of my awesome Patreon supporters, well, do remember that I post a video for you every Sunday, kind of bringing you up to speed of what I've been doing this weekend. I call them What's Up videos. I believe we're at number 125 by now. That's a lot of What's Up videos. But thank you very much to all of my Patreon supporters, and thank you all very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again, and have a really nice day. Bye bye.